Hey guys, welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, I am super excited because I finally cracked tretinoin. Now, for those of you that have been with the channel some time, you'll know that my relationship with tretinoin, also known as retin-a, has been a little bit up and down. On numerous occasions, I've introduced it into my skincare routine, thought I was doing everything right, following all the guidelines and the advice, and still my skin couldn't get past that redness, peeling and irritation. So I stopped, declared it was over, was never looking back, and then temptation, fear of missing out crept in, and I try it all over again. This has been a bit of a cycle on my skincare journey for the past, I'm going to say 4, maybe 5 years, but it stops today. Because finally, I've been able to incorporate tretinoin successfully into my skincare routine and have done so over the past 6 months, and I want to share with you how I made that possible. If you're on your own tretinoin journey, hopefully you can learn by some of my mistakes, but also benefit from some of the hacks that I've developed over the time. So sit back, relax, let's talk how to use tretinoin. Now, before we get into this video, if you haven't been there for all the ups and downs of my tretinoin journey and you want to know like the road travelled so far, then I've pulled all those videos together in a playlist, which are linked in the description box below. So check those out if you want to see the full journey. I feel like we're almost able to call this the destination that we've arrived, but if you want to see the backstory, they're all there. And of course, I'd love to know your own experiences. So give me like your tretinoin before and after experiences in the comments section below, because I honestly love to hear from you guys. I want to get the message out there loud and clear that when it comes to skincare, we don't get everything right all of the time. It's a journey and it's great that we can all be on this together. If you want to help me to get that message out there, then reach down and give the video a big thumbs up and a like. This really supports me as a content creator because the more likes a video gets, the more widely YouTube distributes on its platform. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much. Now, without further ado, let's cut that waffle and delve straight on in. Like I say, tretinoin for me has been a journey. It's been a 5 or 6 year journey, and one that there's been a lot of ups and downs, and I'm okay with that. I feel like part of putting your life out here online like I do is you kind of come with me through those ups and downs, and hopefully along the way you guys might have learned something. But I finally feel we've turned a corner, and that's why I felt this is a video that I am super excited to share. I'm going to break it down into timestamps, which are all linked in the description box below if you want to jump to one section of the video over another. But I'm going to kickstart by sharing what results I've got. So people will often call tretinoin, which is also known by its brand name retin-a, as like the gold standard in skincare, something that we should all be aspiring to and reaching if at all possible. Definitely it has study upon study to show how beneficial it can be, not only in terms of increasing cell turnover, but also organising the collagen that we have in our skin a little bit more efficiently to get maximum anti-aging, and can also over time help fade hyperpigmentation, increase collagen production, and just give so many wonderful benefits to the skin. The same goes for retinoids, the other less potent versions that you can get over the counter. You have to have a little bit more patience, but you can get there in the end. However, tretinoin has all that data to back it up and will deliver relatively speedy results when it comes to anti-aging, which is why I always wanted to be able to make it work. Unfortunately, because of its high potency and just the fact it's not very well tolerated on the skin, initially when you start it, you can get the redness, the peeling, and the irritation, which will vary person to person. For me, it never really went away. Whatever I did, that irritation, that sensitivity always persisted, which is why I've given up on tretinoin more times than I care to remember. There are also different factors that could feature on just how tolerant your skin is towards tretinoin, and this is always worth remembering. All our skin is unique, but factoring in a few different things that have made this work, I've been able to get some great results. 6 months in, I definitely notice a diminishing of the fine lines and wrinkles. It's not earth-shattering, but then I'm now coming into very closely closing in on 40, and so I have started to see those fine lines and wrinkles, and I think tretinoin has helped to tackle them and minimise them a little bit, so I'm very pleased with that. My skin overall is much smoother than it was before. I don't know, I wasn't really expecting that. I've always been on top of my exfoliation game. I've always used retinoids, the over-the-counter, lower strength ones that have worked well for me. But with tretinoin, I definitely notice that my skin is a little bit smoother, which I'm definitely enjoying. And my hyperpigmentation, I found post-summer, where my hyperpigmentation always is a little bit more pronounced, it faded a lot quicker than it normally does. So I am definitely a supporter of it as an ingredient, but I do want to just put that big caveat out there that says, if you can't tolerate tretinoin, that's okay. Retinoids over the counter will give you some great long-term anti-aging, hyperpigmentation fighting results. You don't have to go to tretinoin. But if you want to incorporate tretinoin into your skincare routine, this is what has worked for me and the things that have been game-changing when it comes to my own tretinoin experience. So I worked alongside a dermatologist when it came to prescription, because tretinoin is prescription only in most countries. And I've now gone through 2 tubes. I tend to find 1 tube will last me about 3 months, and I'll come on to why that's the case later in the video. But you can see the tube is empty, proof it's been used. I have another one that I'm about ready to open. And I've definitely found that this experience with tretinoin has been worlds different to my other experiences. And it's for these reasons that I'm going to share now that I think that's been the case. So first up, accepting that daily might not be your own experience with tretinoin. You know, some people can tolerate using it every single evening and they get great results. But for a lot of people, they just can't. And I found that 3 times a week is my maximum. It's all my skin will tolerate and I can't push past that. That used to really bother me when I first started tretinoin, thinking, you know what, I can do this. I need to get to once a day. That's where the real anti-aging holy grail lies. And it's not. Listen to your skin. You know, I tried to go to 4 times a week and my skin reacted, and I thought, no. 3 times a week is that sweet spot, and that's really what my skin can tolerate, and I've stuck at that, and that's worked for me. On the nights that I don't use tretinoin, so those other 4 nights a week, I don't miss out though, because I always make sure I use retin-a on those off nights. Now, I spoke to my dermatologist about this, and she said, yeah, providing your skin can tolerate it, that's absolutely fine. For some people, you know, using a over-the-counter option on the nights when you can't use tretinoin will deliver you a little enhanced benefit. Make sure that you're not missing out on those off nights, but again, not trigger the amount of intense irritation that dialing up your tretinoin could. So for me, 3 nights a week on tret, and the other 4 nights, I use my own retinal oil, which is this. This is the Mad About Skin Ultimate Anti-Aging Oil. I use this on my neck every single night, because the neck I can't use my tretinoin on, which is fine. It's a very sensitive area of the body. So I use this every night on the neck, and I use it 4 nights a week on the rest of my face when I'm not using my tretinoin. That for me seems to just work perfectly. The fact it's in an oil base, I think, helps increase the hydration, offset some of the tretinoin dryness, but it means that I'm not missing out on those off nights. This means that I'm getting my retinoid week round, but I'm doing so in a way that's kind to my skin. I can't help you out with your tretinoin prescription, but what I can do is, if you're keen to try this, like almost, you know, do a little mix and match, fill in those days where you're not using tretinoin, gradually increase like that. I want to help you out with your wallet. So if you're tempted to try the Mad About Skin Ultimate Anti-Aging Oil, then until Valentine's Day, which is the 14th of February, you can buy this with a little discount. Buy 2 units, you save 20%. Buy 3 units, you save 30%. And if you buy 4 or more of these, you save 40%. 40%, let that sink in. So if you can either stock up, you can club together with friends to buy them, however you want to do it. It's a great way of getting a little extra saving, and I always like to reward supporting and loyalty from you guys, and that's just my way of sending a little Valentine's Day love. Because I'm so passionate though about retinoids being used with your sunscreen, use your retinoid in the evening, you always use your sunscreen in the morning. I also want to extend that offer to the Mad About Skin sunscreen, because I think this is just so important. So again, buy 2 units of the sunscreen, save 20%. 3 units, 30%. Buy 4 units or more, and you save 40%, and that's on all of them. So yeah, I do just want to stress that don't feel that you have to use your tretinoin every single night. You can fill in with over-the-counter retinoids on those off nights and still get absolutely amazing next level results. Now, when it comes to preparation, I always found that in my previous tretinoin cycles, I got very itchy around the nose, around the mouth, particularly around the eyes. It was just so sore and so difficult to really incorporate tretinoin, even if I was careful in those areas. So one thing I've really benefited from is using a lip balm on those delicate areas. I'll cover the lips, I'll cover the sides of the nose, I'll cover the corners of the eyes, anywhere where you suffer with sensitivity. Put a little lip balm on before you then apply your tretinoin. That way it'll just stop that product, graduating up to those areas, causing sensitivity and irritation. I like to opt for a lip balm with a purpose, and I've been using this. This is the Allies of Skin Peptide and Repair Lip Balm, which is perfect for this. Nourishes, hydrates, locked in. It's got some great anti-aging benefits, which are key for those areas too. And yeah, this has worked wonderful. It's also really easy to apply because it's in a bullet. So you can just dab it on those areas where you need it. One of these has been lasting me, again, like 3 months. So it lasts forever because the smallest amount, you can just pat it onto the lips, onto the areas where you need it works wonders. This, again, I will say I'll link all the products mentioned today in the description box below if you didn't catch the name. But again, until Valentine's Day for this one, it's also 40% off. So there's some great savings to be had, which means now's kind of a good time to get on that tretinoid journey if you wanted to. But that one's worked really, really well for me. And I think that's the key to avoiding that intense irritation on these delicate areas, which is something I was always super prone to. Next hack I want to share with you is exfoliation. Now, the first thing you're always told when you use tretinoin is to never use it with exfoliating acids. You don't want to increase the risk of any sensitivity and irritation, so never use your tretinoin in the same routine as an exfoliator. And I absolutely agree with that. Stand by it 100%. But you shouldn't forego your exfoliators completely. And that's something I've done in previous rounds of attempting tretinoin, and I think that might have been part of the problem. Because tretinoin will increase the rate of cell turnover, you've got a lot of dead skin cells clinging onto that gorgeous, vibrant skin beneath. And that's half of the reason why our skin can feel really tight, really dry, almost like we're wearing a mask, a crust across us. We don't want that. We don't want any crust in our life. No. And the best way of doing that is gently exfoliate a couple of times a week. Obviously, you're going to do this in the morning because you want it at the opposite end to your tretinoin, or you can do it on one of your tretinoin off days. Really, it's up to you. But I think the key thing I've found is find the most gentle exfoliator you can actually find, because that's where success lies. And I've been using this. This is the Coats Gentle Hydrating Toning Milk. So it's called Hydrating Toning Milk, but actually it's got exfoliators in here. It's got mandelic acid. Mandelic acid is the most gentle of all the exfoliators because it's got a huge molecular size. So it's great for pairing with, the use of tretinoin in opposite ends of your skincare routine. Mandelic acid is phenomenal, and this is packed full of hydrators. It's got calming and soothing ingredients, ceramides, things to boost the barrier function, which can be impacted by tretinoin, and give you that light exfoliation too. Twice a week with this has been I would say one of the true holy grail discoveries for my tretinoin journey. I absolutely love it. This is really affordable when you consider just you're using it twice a week. But if you wanted to go for super bargain basement prices, the ordinary lactic acid 5% could be a great option as well. Super gentle, works in a very similar way. But that Coats Hydrating Toner I found to be a miracle worker when it came to my tretinoin journey. Now, finally, we're going to talk moisturizers, and you've probably heard people do something called the sandwich method, which is where you do your skincare routine, you apply your moisturizer, you then wait for that to sink in, put your retinoid, your tretinoin on top, and then you put another layer of moisturizer on top of that. This works really well because it kind of sandwiches everything in, so you've got that double dose of hydration to minimize dryness, but that initial application of moisturizer will just delay the release of some of that tretinoin, meaning you're not getting that full hit the second you apply it to your skin. This does genuinely work, and I'm a huge advocate for the sandwich method. But if your budget allows for you, I would say kind of mix it up with two different moisturizers. This has worked really well for me. What I've been doing is I've been using the first moisturizer. I like to go for something that's a little less occlusive, sinks in a little bit better, so the skin is still receptive to receiving that tretinoin. And I've been using my own moisturizer for that. This is the Mad About Skin Maximum Impact Moisturizer. Put a small amount of this across the whole face, wait for it to sink in a minute, and then I'll go in with my tretinoin on top. This is packed full of ceramides, it's got calming and soothing ingredients, so it's doing everything you need for the skin. But after that tretinoin, for my second layer, you absolutely could go in with that moisturizer again. But I'm trying to go for something a little bit more occlusive, a little thicker to kind of just lock and seal everything in. I've been using this. This is the Dr. Sam Flawless Moisturizer Intense. This is amazing because it's packed full of calming and soothing ingredients. It's thicker and more occlusive than the Mad About Skin one, so it's perfect for topping everything off. I think mixing these two moisturizers is kind of what's delivered so well for me and my skin in that tretinoin journey. But like I say, if you can only afford one moisturizer, you can go for one or the other and use them. It's fine. But I think the nuances like that, choosing two separate ones can just take the results up a notch, minimize the risk of sensitivity. And that Dr. Sam one is amazing, next level, one of my favorite moisturizers. But again, if you're looking for a more affordable option, then the Avène Sickle Fate will work in a similar way. It's not quite as good, but it's almost there and is much more affordable. So you've got a couple of options there to meet your budget. But I definitely think using different moisturizers in that sandwich method has really helped me to kind of take my tretinoin game to the next level. Honestly, That's it. It doesn't feel like I've changed a lot, and yet I've got a completely different set of results. I think a few tweaks and changes have helped me conquer my skin's aversion to tretinoin, and now I'm getting some amazing, amazing benefits. It is absolutely fine to reach for over-the-counter retinoids. You can get great results. You don't need tretinoin. But it is studied, it is understood to be like one of the gold standard ingredients in skincare, and it's phenomenal. And honestly, I've got some great results from it. But I'd say take it slow, take it steady, and accept that your skin will have its limits. For me, that's 3 times a week, and hopefully by pairing it alongside that retinol oil, I'm not missing out on the off nights, but I'm not pushing it too far. Because remember, inflamed, sensitized, and dry skin is never healthy, and that's not really where we want to be in this. I've been able to incorporate tretinoin in a gentle, gradual, and I say like skin kind way, and I wanted to share that in today's video. Hopefully this has been really, really helpful for you, but let me know your own tretinoin experiences. Sound off in the comment section below. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, I love your skin. Take care. Bye.